We met on the 21st of July, we met again, we met 3 times, we spent 9 hours on both the Chief Executive Review and KPIs for the new year. And the minutes and the new KPIs will be presented confidentially to Council, and Council is only shortly.
Is that the Deputy and yourself and Council?
Yes, as the Chief Review. We spent 3 meetings, about 3 hours. We spent about 9 hours as we come through for it, getting through it. Yeah.
All positive stuff.
Yeah. All right, the couple of things is just to raise, in which this is the best opportunity in which we went to the Councillor, the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Machen, Councillor Van Roijen, Chief Executive, and I went to the local government conference in Waikato. It was a good conference. It was, I guess, the thing that struck me most was our new minister speaking to us. And the new minister assured us that there would be no large-scale amalgamations foisted upon us. But she did make it to me very, very clear, and that there would not be the status quo. There would be change, there would be structural change, there would be looking for way things could be done better. And of course they have announced the new members of the Local Government Commission. The lead, Basil Morrison, has gone, Sir Wira Gardner, and Lee Orton, who was a Chief Executive at the Tauranga and then at Auckland, and they have been given directions to make changes within local government. Certainly on another scale, and this may well mean, as I listen to her, that we may have linkages into the Matamapiato as well as into Rotorua, or these. This is going to be, there will be changes, but she will not be legislating for major changes, but if she does need to make other changes, she will legislate for it. So it's going to be an interesting go forward.
Who is the new Local Government Commissioner? Did you say Basil was retired?
Sir Wira Gardner.
Sir Wira Gardner.
He's the chair. Janie and I.
Janie and I, who was the Mayor of Timaru, was the previous Commissioner, and Lee Orton, who was the Chief Executive there, and have been given quite firm directions.
Can I just add there, we had an email from Sir Wira Gardner and the new Local Government Commission, and very much more, rather than a standoff committee, it's a hands-on committee. They want to come in and work with local communities and find solutions that are appropriate to that community. So definitely large-scale amalgamations, but we already talked in the past about sharing services, and we already do that with valuation, but sharing maybe water services or roading, management, how do I put it? We group them, and if we share with other areas, and it was really heartening. I got quite heartened by that email.
And we may well be able
to go, it was.
Sort of not be tied into sort of the Waikato Regional Council boundary. We may be able to go there and make statements like regional councils may be strengthened, regional councils may disappear.
Yeah.
It won't be a one-size-fits-all. But there were some good speakers. Would you like to comment on any of the speakers?
There was, we did do just one session. We had, what's his name from Saatchi, Kevin Roberts, spoke about branding and communications and local government not really promoting what local government does, because we're integral in every community member's lives, right from when we get up in the morning till we go to bed at night. And so there was that branding program that we had Malcolm Alexander come and present to us. That is certainly out there. I thoroughly enjoyed that. We had some varied speakers. Some of them were really, really good that I can remember, and others were pretty ho-ho. But it was worth it there for the networking and meeting up the other mayors and other mayors of small rural communities. So I spoke particularly with Mackenzie country, and they have exactly the same issues that we have, small rural towns.
Chair. Yeah, first I'd like to thank the councillors for allowing me to go to the conference. It's an interesting experience. I travelled over on the Sunday, came back on the Sunday evening, and then went over and stayed on the Monday night, finishing on Tuesday. It's interesting to see all of the would-be's and could-be's and politicians, from the Prime Minister to the Mayor of Auckland, all the other players in the game that you read about in the paper. And I think one workshop I went to was involving community groups in the Greater Auckland area. We all hear stories about the Greater Auckland Council and all the issues, and nobody's very happy with it. But both the chair of the Rodney board and the Waikato board, Waikato being the centre part of Auckland, spoke very highly of the work that the council does. Obviously they're involved, but I certainly gained a new understanding of what's going on in Auckland and what's happening on the inside there. And so yeah, it was an eye-opening experience.
Good. Mr. Hobbs, you were there.
Yeah, thank you. Bill, I took probably looked at things from a different context in terms of the operational side of things. Stephen Yarwood, who's the former Chief Lord Mayor of Adelaide, was really interesting. He talked a lot about culture being key to the way that a council interfaces with its community. He talked about staff interface with the community as being critical. Thinking around the lines of small government, a big community, which I thought was quite a good analogy that he used. He talked a lot about moving our business into the digital world, amplifying our business, or another term, which again is the way of the future. We have David Mates, who's the CEO of the Canterbury District Health Board. He took us on the journey they've been through recently, and they're regarded as an international leading health service provider nowadays. And again, a lot of that off the back of technology and engagement with clients, stakeholders and so on. So what a lot out of that. Jenny talked about Kevin Roberts. William Rolston from Federated Farmers was interesting, talking around that tension between economic development and water quality, water supply, environmental considerations. Government's moving more to the economic side of things, which is interesting. But he did talk about genetic modification and basically said if you're turning a blind eye, or if you think that it's not the way of the future, then think again, because it is where the world is going. Genetic modification is something that probably we should be embracing, which I thought was interesting. Kim Campbell for the EMA talked about WOMAD, weapons of mass administrative delays, as being an enemy of local government, something we need to think about how we overcome that. Paul Kennett we've talked about. And Brenda Halloran, who was the former mayor of a city which we can't think of the name of it, in Canada. Yeah. I want to say Livingston, but that may be wrong. She talked about the silver tsunami, as we all get older and aged and so on, how we address the needs of that group of people. But also, I mean, at the end of the day, we're an infrastructure company. That's what we are. That's what we do. And she made a very strong case around infrastructure being the backbone of economic development. That was something that really is critical. How does what we do really help develop economic development? So that was sort of the key takeaways I took.
Yeah, good. And you touched on the woman from Canada was particularly impressive as she spoke. But part of the good, part of confidence. And I encourage councillors next year, it is in Queenstown, and directly go is the networking is good that you can then meet government officials, and I was able to meet with Peter Brunt from the Ministry of the Environment, was able to talk to him about our air quality and our exceedances. And our exceedances, you'll be used to have 15 and over at a level of 62 parts. And I said, you snapped our hands at that. I said, now they're down at 52. And only just over the line. I said, and you're not giving us any credit for that. I said, you're still slapping our hands and saying we're having the same number, but it's, we've actually blocked our, improved our air quality there. Why don't you acknowledge this? Because we've been talking about annualisation. And so he said, we're still working on that, we appreciate that. So you're able to get that sort of networking that takes place at council there. So I encourage all councillors when we have the opportunity to, go to a conference, because you then start meeting with other councillors and realise that we all have the problems whether, that sometimes capture us on Facebook and then you read what takes place with other places. But it's a good.
Is there some sort of rotation policy in terms of policy the mayor and deputy mayor would always go to the local government conference, but in terms of councillors, is there some sort of...
We're all invited. In fact, some time ago I actually asked for invitations who wished to go to conference, and the only person who put up their hand was because we would pay for two, and the policy is two. We pay for two in the North Island and one in the South Island. And the only people who put up their hand
and everybody's invited.
It was Councillor Machen and Councillor Roijen. Yeah. And the only other part there in there with these. Oh, sorry, I thought yes, you were there too, but you weren't terribly well.
There was one breakout session that I attended, and that was on the RMA, and the speaker was there was a panel that David Cagle, a former cabinet minister, who is now the Commissioner for Canterbury, and I was particularly, I was particularly interested in what they are doing there, because with the co-management of the Waikato River, I thought that was very relevant to what is happening here. And David Cagle said, I think it was in an area where he wasn't entirely alone, they ran 80 community meetings to inform the community, to give the community the opportunity to get feedback. And so I was absolutely blown away by the effort that went into taking the community wisdom. And I hope that that will happen in the Waikato, because the co-management of the Waikato River is going to be a huge issue in our whole region. The other one, just quickly, was the former mayor of Adelaide, who said council needs to take a large role in making the town centres, he spoke about city of course, but the town centres vibrant, particularly for young people. He said, because if you have a vibrant town centre where young people feel happy, then the older people kind of ride on the coattails of that.
It's actually, if I can carry on from there too, sorry, Roijen, Councillor Van Roijen, he also stated that you actually don't have to spend huge amount of money in the town centres to make them look pretty. You can actually go and dump a pile of wooden boxes, and people move them around, or for seating, or for planting, or anything like that. And they make their own designs, and then they can be moved a week or 2 weeks later, and something else is created. So he was very interesting. Yes.
And my apologies, Councillor Van Roijen, I had you there.
That's okay.
Yeah. But no, so and the other, part there, I'll make you've seen the mayoral fund allocation for the Aspiring Leaders Trust, Jared Kennedy went to Wellington, and is part of our youth group, and so we are now continuing to look at utilising some of the great youth we have, and we're putting forward right now nominations for Young Politician of the Year to go to Wellington with the reduction, and Young Press Gallery person on that. So we're getting some very, very good youth ones. All right, I will move the acceptance of the mayoral report. Seconded by Councillor Shattock. All those in favour, please say aye. As we have an audience there, we will leave the public excluded part of there. Are there any members' information requests?
Yes, there is, Your Worship. Whatever I call it, the agreement with the Chinese people, Sister City, that's the one. Are there any developments in that field?
Well, there's the agreement. We're not part of Sister Cities per se, because that costs, but we do have an agreement with the City of Eastland. I'm expecting the Deputy Mayor of Eastland to be coming in November as we start talking to areas. It'll be particularly great